Here is your 72-hour game plan for making your first or next digital product sale. If you remove all other distractions for the next 3 days and give this plan your full focus, you'll have it created and sold. I've been selling digital products since 2020, and I've learned what actually matters when creating a highly profitable digital product and what can be fully ignored. So let's get into it. Before we talk about the steps required to make your first sale in 72 hours or less, we need to cover what actually makes a really good digital product to begin with. Because if any of these crucial elements are missing, it's going to be really hard to sell. Number one, the way you price it has to be a no-brainer for your customers. They should look at your product and think, wait, I get all of this for only this much? That's the reaction you want, especially when this is your first digital product. Now, to be clear, starting with something low ticket isn't about devaluing yourself. It's purely about building trust with your audience, even if you have a very small one. A lower price point reduces friction and makes it way easier for someone to say yes. Once you get customers through the door and real testimonials, that's when you can start raising the price. So think of products you can offer within the range of $27 to $97 or so. Number two, it needs to be rooted in your own unique experience. In a world where AI can generate so much information, what people crave more than ever is human connection. And the fastest way to build that connection is through your lived experience. Your customers aren't paying for generic steps they could pull from ChatGPT. They're paying for your perspective, and they want to see how you solve the problem that they're currently stuck in. And number three, it needs to be heavily focused on just one clear outcome. Your customers need to experience a quick win or transformation after consuming or using your product. The best way to do that is to get very specific. So for example, instead of writing an ebook on how to raise an emotionally resilient child, you could try something like how to help your child calm down in under 5 minutes without yelling or timeouts. Do you see how specific that outcome is? Okay, so there are many different digital product types you can offer based on your skill set and the audience you want to serve. But I'm going to focus on helpful resources like ebooks, PDF guides, templates, virtual workshops, or mini courses. Of course, you can also offer printables like notebooks, planners, and worksheets. It's just that those products tend to sell for a much lower price range. So day one of your plan is to conduct surveys. This is one of the best ways to validate your idea before putting in any work upfront. And before you start thinking, okay, but I don't even have an audience that I can survey, I want you to hear this clearly. You don't need an audience to do this step properly. You just need access to real people, and there are plenty of ways to do that. To be clear, the goal of day one is not to build anything yet. The goal is to get crystal clear on 3 things: what type of digital product you want to create, who it's for, and what specific problem it solves. Because once you know those 3 things, everything else becomes so much easier. First, start by brainstorming a few product ideas based on your own experience. Ask yourself, what process do I repeat over and over again in my life or business? And what have I already figured out that others are struggling with? Usually, the best problem we can help someone else solve is something we dealt with a few months ago or maybe even a year ago, because we're still so close to that problem and we're still familiar with the exact process we followed to solve it. For example, when I first started this YouTube channel, I was sharing tips on how to make sales on Etsy. I didn't consider myself an Etsy expert at all. I had just struggled to make my first few sales for so long. And when I finally figured out how to do it, I knew I could help beginners make their first few sales as well. So write your ideas down without overthinking them. And it doesn't have to be business related or teaching people how to make money. Your niche could be in the parenting space, meal planning, decluttering, relationships, or sewing, just to name a few examples. It all depends on what you're passionate about and what you have some experience in. Next, do a quick check-in with the market. This is where you're going to research whether similar products already exist and are generating consistent sales. Competition is actually a really good thing, even though it might not feel like it sometimes. So head over to places like Amazon, Etsy, Google, or even Pinterest and search your idea. If you see other people selling something similar, that tells you there's demand for it. You can even go on to ChatGPT and ask it to list creators and products that are currently very successful in this space, and you can do a deep dive on those. You're not trying to copy anyone else's products, because remember, this has to come from your lived experience. You're simply validating that people are willing to pay for solutions to this problem. Once you've narrowed down an idea that feels aligned and validated, you're ready to survey a handful of people to confirm this is a profitable idea. If you already have an audience, even if it's a very small one, this is going to be really simple. You can post polls on Instagram stories, send a short survey to your email list, or ask questions inside your community. You can literally just say something like, I'm thinking of creating a resource to help, and then you would insert your target audience, achieve, insert the results. What do you need help with the most right now? If you don't have a social media presence or an email list yet, here are a few alternatives. You can reach out to people you already know who fit your target customer, like your friends, family members, or colleagues. You can also ask people you know if they can refer you to anyone that fit your target customer. You can post inside relevant Facebook groups or online communities as long as they allow research posts. I've done this many times, and I still do this today. You can also send DMs to people on social media who don't follow you, but look like they fit your target customer. The best way to actually get people to participate in your surveys is to offer something for free in exchange for feedback. This could be a free strategy call with you, it could be a free template that you whip up and send to them, or whatever you feel that your target customer will find valuable. For example, when I was recently validating one of my new digital product ideas, I offered my Notion planner template for free to anyone who would fill out my short survey. I already had this template created, so if you already have something you can offer for free, this will be a lot easier. But if you don't, you can put something together that's much simpler, like a checklist, cheat sheet, worksheet, etc. Whatever they would find valuable. This gives them an incentive to provide really good feedback, and this will help shape your actual product. The more surveys you get filled out, the better. But aim for at least 5 to 10 if you can. And the questions can be as simple as, what's your biggest struggle with, insert your topic, right now? What have you already tried that didn't work? If I could create the perfect resource to help you achieve this outcome, what would it include? This will ensure that you're building something people already told you they want. By the way, if you want to sell educational digital products, like ebooks, for example, I put together a 36-page PDF guide that's all about how to create a digital product people actually want. You can grab that for free in the description box below. So day 2 of this game plan is to outline your digital product and get it ready to sell. And I want to be very clear here. You're still not creating your digital product at this stage, and your outline does not need to be long or complicated. You're simply going to list the sections and resources you want to include in your digital product. And this will be a combination of your own experience plus the feedback you collected from your surveys. Start by opening a blank Google document or even just grabbing a piece of paper and writing down the steps and resources you're going to include. So if it's an ebook or a mini course, for example, write down all the steps in sequential order and what resources like checklists or templates you'll offer to support what you're teaching. For example, let's say I want to create a mini course on how to record your first YouTube video. I would just map out the exact process that I personally followed to reach that goal. Then I would layer in the feedback people shared with me in the surveys. So here's an example of what that could look like. You can see how bare bones and how basic this is. This is literally how I do it. I've got my title idea at the top and lessons that I would include in this mini course based on what I know. Lesson 1, how to set up your YouTube channel. 2, determine your unique niche and target audience. 3, brainstorm relevant video topics, etc. Now, I've spoken to many people already when it comes to starting a YouTube channel, and I get a lot of people asking me 2 things. What gear do I need to get started? And how do I actually edit my video? What software do I need? So in this example, I've included lessons for those. Prepare all necessary gear, tools, and software, and how to edit your video in under 30 minutes with iMovie. That's what I mean by sprinkling in the feedback you received from your surveys. Now, this is also where you decide the price of your digital product. Like we talked about about earlier, this should be a no-brainer price that feels aligned with the outcome you're delivering. And because it's your first round of buyers, you're going to pre-sell it at 50% off. Basically, you're running a 24-hour flash sale for your upcoming digital product. This will be a huge incentive for people to purchase it now before the price goes up. So if your mini course is going to be $97, for example, maybe you launch it at $47 to get your first customers through the door. Or if your ebook is going to be $47, maybe you launch it at $27 for 24 hours. Once you have an idea of everything you're going to include in your digital product, be honest with yourself about how long it's going to take you to build it. This way, you can clearly communicate with your founding members when they're gaining access to your product. If it's an ebook, you can probably have it done within 1 to 2 weeks max, and therefore that's when they officially gain access to it. So you can include that information on your checkout page. Once you have your outline, price, and delivery timeline locked in, it's time to upload your product and create a very basic checkout page. You want this all set up now so that on day 3, you only focus on promoting your product. Now, for a quick and free way to upload your digital product with a checkout page, you can use PayHip, which is the sponsor of today's video. PayHip is a platform that allows you to upload and sell your digital products entirely for free, and they have other plan options you can choose from as well. Just click the link in the description box below and you can select Get Started for free right here. Once you've created your account using your email address, you'll be brought to your dashboard. It's as simple as going to Products at the very top, select Add New Product, and then you're going to click on Digital Product. Now, I have step-by-step tutorials on how to upload a product from scratch using PayHip, which I'll link for you down below, but you'll see it's quite straightforward and beginner-friendly. I'll just highlight a few important features here. So you'll upload your product file. This could be a PDF file if you're selling an ebook, for example. Basically, it's what you want your audience to receive immediately after they pay. As for the price, like I mentioned, if this is your first digital product, you might want to offer something low ticket. Include mock-up images to showcase what your audience will receive after they make a purchase. And you can get a bunch of these from Canva. Here's an example of what one of mine looks like. I personally really like the mock-up templates that have a few devices and pages because it just makes your product look more robust. Once you have your description filled out and these basic features checked off, you're ready to publish it. It's really that easy. You don't even need to pay for hosting or domain names because those are all provided by PayHip. Now, in order for you to get paid, PayHip has many different payment options depending on where you're located in the world. So under payment details in your account settings, just select See All Payment Options and indicate where your business is located, because these are all going to update for you automatically, and you can select which one suits you best. They also have what's called a marketplace, where you have the opportunity to upload your digital products on and reach their audience that's already coming on to PayHip to look for something specific. You can use the link in the description box below to sign up for PayHip entirely for free and start building out your digital product checkout page. Okay, you've made it to day 3 where you're going to pre-sell your idea. Remember, you still haven't created the digital product yet. It's simply an idea that's still waiting to be validated by real buyers. Your goal here is not perfection, it's proof. Because the moment someone pulls out their credit card and buys your idea, you've proven that this product is worth building. So today, you're running a 24-hour flash sale for your founding members. You've already decided on the full price and the discounted launch price. So make it very clear that this is a limited time offer. You can frame it as founding member pricing or early access pricing. Whatever you call it, the key here is urgency. You want to give people a reason to act now before the doors close or before the price doubles. Now, before you start promoting it, I recommend setting a simple revenue goal for the day that you're working towards. This makes the whole process feel more exciting, but also doable and less overwhelming. For example, if your product is priced at $50 and your goal is to make $100, you only need 2 sales to hit your target. That's it. And once you hit your first sale, I truly believe you can sell it over and over again. Now, here's exactly how you're going to promote your product over the next 24 hours. First, post about it multiple times on social media. This is not the day to post one static image and then completely disappear. People need repetition and they need a lot of reminders. They also need to see your offer from different angles and maybe even different messaging. For today, aim for at least 2 to 3 short form videos. videos. I use Instagram Reels, but you can also use TikTok if you're active there. Post 1 or 2 carousels and show up consistently in Instagram stories throughout the day, talking about the benefits of your new product and linking to your checkout page. Don't just say, my product is now live and you can check it out through the link in my bio for more information. Explain that after talking to so many people in your space, you notice the same pain point coming up over and over again. Share that this is why you created this resource. Clearly describe the transformation it helps them achieve, and always include a direct call to action telling people exactly where to go to purchase. Next, reach out to the people who filled out your survey. This is one of the most powerful steps in this entire process because these people already raised their hand and told you they're interested in the problem you're solving. So send them a message thanking them for their feedback and letting them know the product is now live. Then tell your friends and family members about your launch. I know this can feel uncomfortable at times because you're really putting yourself out there, but you're not pressuring them to buy it. You're asking them to help you spread the word and to share it with anyone they know who would genuinely benefit from it. And guess what? If you don't make any sales, thank goodness you didn't spend weeks creating it first. That's just great feedback that you can use to adjust or slightly tweak your offer until it does sell. Make sure to sign up for PayHip entirely for free using the link in the description box below. And if you want to sell educational digital products like ebooks or courses, for example, you can grab my free 36-page PDF guide that'll show you how to create a digital product people actually want. That'll be linked for you below as well. Head over to this video next where I share the biggest digital product mistakes I've made so you don't have to. I'll see you there.